Hello again. This time I'd like to cover Bogles, which could be pretty good in this meta that we have. The meta change with Peregrine Drake and a lot of controllish builds. Um, this is a list that I found in an article by Alex Ullman, and I kind of modified that list concerning the sideboard. I added one Gleeful Sabotage and cut one lifelink, just because I just have one lifelink in my cards, and I guess one lifelink is enough. Because we have standard bearers who are sometimes as good as lifelink against burn, for example, or almost as good. The main deck consists of one single plains. I'm not sure about that. Maybe we just could cut one of these lands of these basics and play the land that gives you a one creature. I just don't have the name of the land in mind, but this might be good against black. We have four of these Blossoming Suns, which might be good, might be bad, depending on what you want to do. It's bad that we have it tapped when it comes into play, but this is what we're working with. Bogles always have to have the Slippery Bogle as a 4-off, and the Glade Carver Scout. Those are your creatures that you rely on, playing a Bogle for 1, and then equipping it with a lot of enchantments or auras. Ledgewalker is pretty nice in the Bogle spot, just because it can be blocked except by creatures with flying. Sometimes you will board it out because your opponent has a lot of flyers, and then maybe you want to have Aura Knowledge or anything like or something like that. Crystalline Pride Mage is like a new addition to the deck. It's a 3-off. And I cut our Ullman, found the 5-0 deck list that cut 2 Honoralids for the Crystalline Pride Mage. Let's give it a try. The enchantment or aura package is pretty straightforward. We have 4 Abundant Growth and Utopia Sprawl just to fill our mana and to like tempo boost or ramp your deck up using the Utopia Sprawl. We have enchantments that strengthen our creatures, make them bigger, like Ethereal Armor, which is so nice for 1 mana, +1/+1, and first strike. Do not forget the first strike thing. Rancor is nice because it's like a recurring from the graveyard, it's got recursion. Ancestral Mask is one of the best and most brutal enchantments that we have. And since it came back through Eternal Masters, it's more or less affordable, this deck. Ancestral Mask really was one reason why less player played Bogles than they do now. Very good is Armadillo Cloak because it has 2 or 3 interesting things that it does. It makes your creature bigger, +2/+2, and it gives it trample. But overall, you gain or you have lifelink on your creature. Each and every damage your creature does is life-linked, which is so nice just because you can win games that you won't win or that you would not have had the chance to win because the race was not in your favor. Then you top deck an Armadillo Cloak and just hit your opponent for 17, gain 17 life, and you are back at whatever 18 or 19, which your opponent might not be able to raise or jump block. In your sideboard, you want to have lifelink for matchups where you have to gain life and where you have to raise your opponent, or to where your opponent wants to raise you. You want to have lifelink against burn, things like that. The same is true for standard bearer, which is also good in the mirror. If he plays enchantments, he has to play his enchantment, your opponent, on your creatures. Young Wolf is pretty good against mono black, just because, or against any deck that plays sacrifice removals because it comes back. Gleeful Sabotage, you don't have to talk or to tell much about that card. It's just one of the best enchantment or artifact removals that we have, um, especially since it has Conspire. Bad about it is that it's sorcery speed only, but you can't have everything in one card. Moment's Peace is very good to just win against stacked decks that are faster and they might buy you a turn. Or now it can come in handy against decks which have a lot of blockers and things like that. Kusali Pride Mage and Gleeful Sabotage are in the deck for the very same reason. Relic of Progenitus is good against newer decks that rely heavily on your graveyard or on their graveyard. Let's just play and see if it works out well. Play lobby. Where is it? Bogles. And let's start. Let's see how long it takes till we can play one game. I just pause it right here. I just stop. Yeah, no reason to stop it. We're playing against Kinnick Stadium. Yes, we want to play first. Like have fun. Our draw is okay. We can keep it. We have both colors. We have a turn 2 creature. Since we are on the play, it's not too bad to just have a turn 2 creature. If we play against mono black, it could be difficult. And we play against mono red. I hope it's Burn, because our hand is pretty good against Burn. I think it's very good against Burn just because we have Armadillo Cloak and Ethereal Armor. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we basically win at this point just because of Armadillo Cloak and the armor. Let's just put it here and have a concession of our opponent. That's it. Begin sideboarding. We want to have those standard bearers. We want to have this one and that one. Gleeful Sabotage might be good. Let's see. No, it's not good. What do we want to cut? Knowledge is not fast enough. We don't need, let me see, what do we not need as well? Let's cut these masks because we just want to have Armadillo Cloak on our creature. We don't have to raise. And we might want to have Young Wolf. No, we don't want to have Young Wolf. Just because we don't want to give. Yeah. Let's leave it like that. We just don't want to give our opponent targets for Searing Blaze. Let's see what happens. Like, have fun. Decent draw. It's okay. Keep. Oh, nice. I choose white. Okay. Next turn is pretty difficult, but I think I will play Standard Bearer and the Bogle to have the option of playing Armadillo Cloak next turn and gain a bunch of life. He doesn't have a second land, so this should be good game. Standard Bearer, which is going to take a removal. And then we can just play Cloak on the Bogle and win from that point on. Let's see if it works out. There is the Curse, which is not so good, but since we have Pride Mages, we don't care much about the Curse. First things first. Wait a moment. No, we have to play safe. Let's play the Cloak, attack, and win from that point on. Nice, 16 life, 5 cards. I guess that's it. I mean, Yep. Okay, this was pretty fast. I hope you enjoyed it, even though it was so fast. Um, yeah, it was a very interesting match against Boone. Let's see if I can find or if I can play another match with the Bogles.